Hi guys and welcome to Faewood. I've got my new backdrop here and this is the very first video I'm shooting with this backdrop, and I've been moving back and forth trying to work out where I want to have it show in the backdrop because you know, I'm like, oh, it's so pretty, I just want to like lean over this way and let you see all of that, or then I'm like, oh, my chair's in the way, maybe I should move over this way. I'm like, you know, I almost want to be out of the frame now so that you can see all of this stuff happening back there, but obviously that sort of defeats the purpose of having a backdrop for my videos, because then the video will just be you guys looking at the backdrop and nothing happening. Anyway, I'll probably work it out as I go along, and I'm not sure on the lighting how that's all going to look. I still need to set up everything with I have a laptop that my husband got me from work, or from his work, and that will help me see the image a bit better so I can make sure what you guys see looks really nice, because yeah, right now I'm like, I think it's okay, but I won't know till I edit this whether it was all right, and I feel like I'm maybe too low in the shot maybe, but then I'm like, oh, but you can see nice, you know, containers up there. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. If you've got feedback where you think is the best spot, I'll probably, look, let's be honest, I don't want to keep it the same anyway. I'll probably shift around from time to time just to show different angles and stuff like that, but I think it's nicer than what I had in the backdrop, which was just messy craft supplies that weren't really looking that great, and messy papers, and like there was always junk in the background and stuff like that. So we're moving forward to some better filming situations, I hope. Anyway, I'm like totally on a tangent because I'm just excited about having a new backdrop. I did the biggest craft haul today and I'm actually like a bit concerned about how much I spent, to be honest. So I was gathering supplies because I have two major projects that I'm wanting to work on. One being the Skeksis necklace, which you guys have seen a lot of the materials that I sort of gathered, because I bought a couple of things from Etsy and that sort of thing to get going on it, but there was a couple of extra things because now that I've sort of been thinking about the design in my head a bit more, and wanting to work on it, to be honest, and having so many other things that got in the way of me having time to work on it, but it has given me time to think about the design and solidifying that in my head a little bit more. So I got some things for that, which I will show you, but I'm not sure where they are at this point because I've got two massive bags and a bolt of fabric here. So I got some more stuff for that, and then I got material for my costume for the Goblin Ball. And as I say this, I am not even sure who is coming with me, if anyone. One of my friends was saying she might come. Two friends were saying they don't know if they can come. I don't want to go by myself is the upshot though, so I'm hoping someone will come with me. Otherwise, this might be a costume for another year, because, you know, it's just like there's so many lovely people there, but I'm sure you guys can understand that feeling of not really going with anyone, like sort of going solo. It's pretty nerve-wracking. So you know, and as much as like I'll probably just film and stuff like that, like it's still not the same, so we'll see. But regardless, I'm going to make a costume, so I'm going to show you all the bits and pieces I've got. Now somewhere I have the pattern that I have shown you guys. Let me find it and I'll show you so you have some context of what all this stuff is. Alright, so it was downstairs. This is the pattern, which is a simplicity pattern that was, I think, a collaboration with Firefly Path. Might even say it on here. Yeah, Firefly Path, which is a brilliant costume designer and has a shop on Etsy. And, oh, I mean, just to see the detail of it is beautiful. I don't know how I'm going to go making this. It brings back really bad memories of home ec class, which, man, I was like a nightmare at sewing. Mind you, I have since made a neck corset over there, so I figure if I can make one neck corset, I can make another, and hopefully that also means I can make a regular corset, doesn't it? Hopefully. I don't know, because these patterns always freak me out, because I just remember them seeming like another language. So we'll see. Anyway, I had to get all sorts of materials, and look, I'll be honest, even trying to work out what the friggin' material I needed for the pattern was a nightmare for me as well, because I really don't know what I'm doing. So I spent ages trying to work out the amount of material and the type of material, and at the end of the day, I didn't even really go for exactly what it said, because I fell in love with some other materials. So anyway, longest intro in the history of man. Let's show you some stuff. So I have a massive bolt of absolutely beautiful rich red material. So I am hoping to make my like bodice, corset, or whatever it's called, just the corset, and the skirt out of this material. What I might do is insert a picture here of some inspiration. Now this was posted on, I think it was the Celts Facebook page, which I've liked or whatever, and so I see their pictures in my feed. They post just really nice, beautiful Celtic images and fantasy Celtic type stuff. Anyway, they posted this corset with skulls sitting on the shoulders, and I fell in love with it. Someone said it was probably made by Hysteria Machine, which are another costume designer that I absolutely adore. I follow so many different costume pages, even though I am not a costume maker myself. I'd like to be, and this is why I'm doing this, in the hope to learn how to make some of this stuff, because it'd be so amazing to use some of my beading and embroidery work, like experience, into an actual costume instead of just having a necklace or whatever. So anyway, that's the hope. Now, it did say to use certain types of material, and I can't even remember what type of material this is. This is how novice I am. And at the end of the day, I just sort of felt how stretchy it was. And it's not too stretchy. It's got a little stretch to it. I know you don't want too much stretching. You probably don't want too lightweight a material for a corset. It needs some sturdiness, which I have. When I made the neck corset, it was a similar weight of material, similar stretch, and it turned out fine. So I'm thinking it would be fine. And how beautiful is it? How could I not get this? I mean, how could I not? It is so, so pretty. But I had the worst luck with material today, because everything I picked up, they didn't have as much material as I needed, because I needed 8 meters to do everything, because I was going to do the neck corset in the red as well, but there wasn't enough. So I think I should be able to do the skirt and the corset, if I'm correct, with the amount that I have here. At least I hope so. And then I got some organza type material, this sort of, it's a greeny gold. It's sort of like an old, antiqued gold, I think. it does have a touch of green, but I really think of it as an old gold. Again, they didn't have enough. I needed, I think it said I needed 6 meters, and they had 4 or something like that. So not enough, but I don't know. I grabbed it anyway. Worst case, I'll see about getting some more material for this. But again, I just loved it. So I'm, you know, I might even adjust the pattern so that I can get away with that, because it's really more of a decorative piece anyway, that bit. And I'm also unsure how this is going to go, but I got this sort of leather-like material for doing the neck corset. I have my receipt here. I'm just going to see what this stuff actually is. Alright, so it just calls the metallic red material metallic stretch red. Very informative. And it does have a little bit of stretch, like I said, but I don't think it's, I think it'll be okay to use, and it's just going to look so good. And then the foil chiffon was the gold. And then I can't remember if this was actually leather or faux leather. I believe it's faux. It wasn't cheap still though. It was like $40 a meter or whatever. But it's so good. It looks like dragon scale to me. And I just thought it would make the most awesome looking neck armor. It's a little on the thick side, but it is just for the neck corset. So yeah, hoping this will work out. I guess I won't know until I get started, but it did suggest you could use a leather type material, like a vinyl or a leather. So it's just that this is a little thicker than some of the others that I looked at. But how good is that? It's so good. And I'm going to be doing all sorts of cool embellishments and things on it. Hopefully. I've got lots of ideas in mind, but we'll save those for when I get started on the project. I needed some backing material, so lining material, and for that I just got this cotton, black cotton material. I think it will work out okay. Again, we'll see. I mean, you know, I'm definitely doing what I always do, jumping in head first and frantically swimming to the shore and hoping I don't drown, because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try and figure it out. And now that I've spent all this money on all this material, because I spent too much money, guys, I'm gonna be poor for a while, but I'll have a really kick-ass costume, I hope. But yeah, given the money that I've dropped on this, I really need to make this work. Like, this stuff, if it doesn't work for this costume, I'm gonna have to use it for something, because again, for the costume, because there's like a lace-up neck corset and actual corset and then a bracer, I needed a lot of ribbon. So I got a ton of black ribbon. I figured, because I knew I was going to do a blood red with gold outfit, and I figured, you know, black always works with red. It's easier than trying to match a red to it, and I didn't want too much contrast, so I could have gone gold and done that with the red, but for the lace up I wanted the lace to be a little more subtle, and I figured black and red, can't go wrong there. So the pattern has all sorts of little detail work on it. You know, it's got like armor bits and stuff like that, some of which I'm not going to do as the pattern suggests, probably. But again, we'll get into that when I get started. But I did get most of the things that it suggested that you needed anyway, so that I have options. So for example, it asked for felt, black felt. So I grabbed a couple of bits of felt. I got some fusible backing. This is a lightweight sewable heat bond stuff. They really didn't have any other options that I could find, or if they did, they were well hidden. So I'm hoping this is big enough. It was meant to be like wider, but again, I'm sure I can do 2 layers if I need to. So we'll figure it out. I got some matte varnish because some of the pieces you need to paint. In fact, I'll show you the piece. Like it, so I needed to get foam, like, what's it called? It's just foam sheets, I guess, like craft foam, 2mm craft foam, which this is. But, you know, I love rainbows, but it's really not going to work for a dark gothic kind of outfit, so I'll probably need to spray paint this. It did call for black foam. I didn't have any other colours except for these various rainbow packs, and it had to be the large pieces as well. I guess because some of the pieces that you cut are going to be larger. So grabbed that, and that will be spray painted, and I think that's what this is for, is to varnish the spray paint so that it, you know, doesn't crack and all of that sort of stuff. I got this eyelet pack. It was actually cheaper to get the one with the eyelet tool, which I'm pretty sure I have an eyelet tool somewhere, than to just buy the amount of eyelets that I wanted separately. Now, it probably means the eyelets aren't the greatest of qualities, so we'll see. I'm hoping it's okay, but it is handy to have a little tool, or you can get the ones with the little hammer that you know, hammer in, and I've used that before, and that worked out fine. So but yeah, I needed like 54 of them for everything, so I got that. Now, you can't have a corset without boning, so got a ton of boning, 10 meters actually, I think it ended up being. So yeah, Mod Podge, I always go to call this Mod Podge, I think because I think of hodgepodge, you know, but Mod Podge. So, and the gloss type it called for. I am absolutely unsure what this is for. Maybe also for the foam bits. I'm not sure. I guess I'll find out. But I grabbed it. I'm sure I'll work it out. And I haven't gone through all of the instructions yet. I was mainly just looking at the materials at this point. So, and then we'll delve into all of that stress soon. So I needed like a binding, bias binding, the double fold one. So I grabbed that. I don't think it said how much I need, so hopefully I've got enough, but I can get more if I need to. I needed a 7-inch zipper. Installing a zipper scares the hell out of me. I have never done it, and I'm led to believe it's really bloody difficult, so wish me luck. You guys are gonna see whatever happens with all of this. You guys are gonna come along for the ride with me. And as some of my tutorials, I use the term loosely, have been, they're more just sort of watching me trying to feel my way through a project and, like, you know, work it out myself as I go along. Like, it's you're sort of watching me experiment, and I guess I hope that at least you might get some tips for the failures that I've had, you know. And like, I don't think I've had any sort of massive failures as such, but you learn things every time you do something. So almost every time I do a project, you know, you probably hear me in each video say, I would have done this differently. And I'm hoping that that helps you guys. And I might not necessarily have time to do the thing again differently, like I said I should. Like, if I was to redo it, I would do it this way. I may not do it again, but at least you guys will know that's my thoughts after doing it. Anyway, this was required some snap closures that are sew on. So I grabbed that. Now I grabbed a couple of things for embellishment, which I may or may not use. I'm not sure what's going to... Not sure exact. I have a sort of vision in my head, but it's quite loose. So, but essentially it's gold embellishments on top of the red material. So I got a 3D metallic red paint, which could be used for some areas. This gorgeous, I love these glass, what are they called? I've seen these before and I can't remember what they're called, but they're just really speckled kind of textured glass beads that I think just look brilliant. So I think these would work either as embellishments on this costume or for my Skeksis necklace, because that's going to have a fair bit of gold and opulent colours and things as well. So I just really enjoyed the look of those, so I grabbed those. I don't buy a lot of beads from Spotlight, to be honest. I think there's better beads elsewhere and probably better prices elsewhere, and a lot of the beads that I do use these days, seed beads at least, I order in bulk because I sell them, so I use the stock that I get for selling, and it just works out better for me to do it that way. I got some gold embroidery thread because I'll probably want to do, you know, if I can do some machine embroidery as well as beadwork and various things, then I think that would be awesome. So yeah, definitely wanted to get that. What else have we got here? Now, I don't know, I was going to say you might see this first, but I actually don't know what order the videos are going to be because it's just going to be time permitting. But I am planning to start the Skeksis necklace very soon. I've wanted to be working on it for a while, but we went away and then I had various things I had to catch up on, mainly filming and editing, to be honest, because if I want to keep two videos a week, sometimes you just have to go with what time permits for that, and it doesn't always mean you can work on the project you really want to work on. So I've been like frantically trying to finish this backdrop so I can move on to the next thing. Anyway, I got this felting needle because I think I really want to do a felted section, which I want to sort of try and do a bit of stump work. Now stump work is like a 3D embroidery style. Now I've not done it before, but I do have some books on embroidery stitches. I've done embroidery stitches, of course, and I do embroidery beadwork, so it's not a stretch to do it. It's just that I'm not sure how I'm going to achieve the design that I want yet, but that's the fun. So, but I'm going to hopefully felt a piece that can at minimum be the base for what I'm going to do, so that I can get the real shape of it, and then I might go over it with beadwork or embroidery threads. But I got a range of different threads to help me achieve it, so that I've got some options, and I'll show you those. So got a bunch of different colors and types of thread here. So, you know, with gold coloring, because this is going to be for the I can't remember the name of it, but it's the Emperor's Scepter, the, you know, gold like crescent moon that's like a bird eating the world, and it has a name and I've totally forgotten what that is, but I want that design around my Skeksis face, but I want it to be quite 3D, and I've been tossing this up in my mind for a while and really unsure what I wanted to do to kind of achieve it. I decided I didn't want to do a sculpted like polymer clay thing. I really wanted it to be embroidered. I wanted that opulent, you know, fabric and beadwork, and I don't know, I just really wanted to do it that way instead of having the polymer clay. So that's the thought. I'm going to do felt work and embroidery stitches and beadwork potentially to achieve that look. So yeah, with the gold color of that, I needed a few different tones because, you know, for the darker bits, the detail parts, some different tones of gold. You know, when you've got a three-dimensional gold piece, there's different colors of gold that you might see come out. Some are brown, some are slightly green, some are more mustard, yellow, whatever. So I'll see how I go. I'm not sure if I've got all the colors I need or what's going to happen, but I'll kind of know more when I get started. Okay, and finally I picked up these pieces of felt that have been stiffened, and they were so cheap. I think like 50 cents or something. And they're fantastic because it's really similar to Lacey's stiff stuff. You can absolutely bead on this without problem, and yet it's larger than you can get the pieces of Lacey's stiff stuff, which is brilliant because one of the things that I find so limiting is the fact that you can only get Lacey's stiff stuff in sort of an A4 max size that I've seen, at least. Anyway, could be wrong. Maybe the stockists I use only have the A4s, but I love that this is larger because, you know, you've got the opportunity then to bring the work down further. I don't know if I will or not, but it's nice to have something on hand that I can use for that. Now, potentially, I might end up using some of this for the collar of the Skeksis necklace, but even if I don't, I was happy to have some of this on hand for some big art jewellery pieces. So I just grabbed 4 bits of that because that's enough to keep me busy for a while, and I can always go and get more later if I need to. And I think that's it. Yes, a big haul. Mainly the price really was, the material was the expensive thing, so that cost me a pretty penny. But I'm excited to give it a go and, you know, see if I can actually follow this pattern. I might do a few different videos because it's just a bit much to fit into a video, so I'll probably see if I can do maybe a video for the neck corset, maybe one for the actual corset, one for the skirt, and then you'll see what I do to them, because what I'm hoping to do is to adjust it to my vision of what I want to do. I don't know. I've got these grand plans, guys, and even as I'm saying it, I'm like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna go, but we're gonna try. So anyway, I need to stop talking because this has been going on for so long. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you're enjoying the new backdrop, and I will kind of fine-tune the lighting situation because I can't tell right now. I'm pretty sure I want to put the camera down a bit further or maybe zoom you in a bit further, but, you know, part of me is like, look at all the prettiness around that I can include in the video. But we'll work it out as time goes on. Hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you're looking forward to the videos that are going to be coming with these things. I know it takes me a while to get the videos going because they're big projects, and, you know, I don't do this for a living. I don't even get 1 red cent out of doing any of this, to be honest. So I do need to sort of fit it in around life and work, but, you know, I will definitely be bringing them to you. It's just, I can't guarantee how quickly, but I'm keen to get going. So anyway, subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to see where all this craziness is going to take us. And for the rest of you, I'll see you next time in Faewood. Bye, guys.